And most of us have had the experience of agreeing a price for something that needs mending, only to find that the price suddenly goes up once we've handed over the item for repair. Of course, that might be because the initial quote simply underestimated how much work needed to be done. But if you're not happy about the new cost of the repair, there doesn't always seem to be much you can do about it. That's certainly what quite a few of you say happened with one particular company which specialises in repairing mobile phones. The response to queries about increased prices wasn't quite like it or lump it, but some of you say it might just as well have been. Two-thirds of us now own a smartphone or tablet. That's hundreds of pounds worth of tech in our pockets. And given how much we rely on them, it really is shattering when this happens, as it so often does. Usually those cracked screens are just an unfortunate accident, which is probably how 8-year-old Oliver would describe what happened to his family's iPad in November 2015.
I was having a fight with my little brother Ruben, and I think Ruben pushed me onto it or something, and then it broke.
The broken screen made the iPad impossible to use. Oliver was distraught, and his mother Maria knew she had to act fast.
I didn't want it to get any worse than it was, and that's why straight away I just thought, I'm going to get it fixed before the crack gets any bigger.
But when the manufacturer Apple told Maria it would cost £156 for a new screen, she looked around for a more affordable solution and came across a company called Fone, not to be confused with other companies with similar names. Fone describes itself as the UK's leading smartphone and tablet repair specialist. The clincher for Maria was that its website said the company charged just £39.95 for a new screen, more than £100 less than Apple.
The price that they was asking seemed to be around the kind of price that you'd expect to pay, maybe a little bit cheaper, which was quite impressive.
Fone said the tablet could be fixed and back with the family in about a week, so Maria paid the cost up front and sent the tablet off. But the next day, the company emailed to say it had found another problem in addition to the cracked screen.
They'd inspected the item and found there was a problem with the docking station, and they said that I could get that fixed while they were fixing the screen.
Fone was asking a further £50 to repair the charging point, but Maria didn't believe it needed fixing, as she'd successfully charged up the tablet the night before posting it.
I'd sent an email back to them to say there wasn't any problem at all, so could they just repair the initial problem and send it back to me?
But Fone didn't seem to want to take no for an answer.
Within another day or so, I received another email saying that it was a lot more cost effective to get that extra repair done while they were fixing the screen. That kind of put a bit of fear in me, and I thought, well, I don't really want to go through that again.
Fone also offered to reduce the price of the new repair to £36.95, so Maria reluctantly decided to take the experts at their word. But 5 days later, instead of getting the tablet back as expected, Maria was told the repairs hadn't even started, and it would now take another month before the tablet could be returned.
That's when alarm bells started ringing. Then I started to go online and look at bad reviews, and that's when I found all the same problems that I was having. I started panicking then.
With her faith in Fone starting to crack like the screen, Maria simply wanted her iPad back.
So I sent an email and asked them if they could just cancel the order and post my device back to me, and I'll get it repaired somewhere else.
Fone agreed and said it would send it back within 3 days. But that didn't happen, and when Maria chased them up, she says she was simply given excuses explaining the delay. After more contact, Fone did send the tablet back. But around a month after first sending it off, Maria was still stuck with a broken screen to fix.
When the courier finally actually turned up at the house with the device and I signed for it, it was just such a relief.
Maria's Fone experience is strikingly similar to lots of other stories our team has heard about the company. Several of the people we've spoken to say that after paying the upfront repair costs for their tablet or phone, Phone Angels told them there was something else that needed fixing too. Andrew Thompson from Northampton contacted Phone Angels about the broken screen on his daughter's tablet.
They told me that it needed further repairs and it would cost me an extra $49.99 for them to, not only repair the cracked screen, but something to do with the volume flex connector. It came as quite a big shock because obviously I know that the volume was working fine when I sent it out.
Andrew told Phone Angels not to do anything and asked for the tablet to be returned instead.
How could they say that this extra problem behind the screen had occurred when they hadn't even took the device to bits?
Samantha Lindley from Bolton sent 2 gadgets with broken screens to Phone Angels.
The first email I received was saying there was an issue with the phone about the proximity sensor, and when I got my products back, they were in a worse condition.
Samantha complained and asked for a refund.
I am still fighting now, to this day again, to get my money back.
Of course, these cases could add up to just a handful of bad experiences with a company that largely gets things right. After all, there are plenty of good reviews online, along with the bad ones. So, to get a taste of the typical Phone Angels experience, we asked the company to fix some devices for us. So we sent 3 of our own phones off to Phone Angels, and to make sure we knew exactly what was and wasn't wrong with them, we got them checked over first by an independent company that inspects phones for the police. We took 2 used phones and 1 brand new one to the team at Forensic Mobile Services and got them to run some tests to tell us everything we needed to know about them. This white iPhone, let's call it phone number 1, was given a clean bill of health apart from a slightly loose home button which doesn't stop it working at all. Phone number 2, this brand new Galaxy S4 Mini, was in perfect working order, as you'd expect from something straight out of the box. And phone number 3, this black iPhone, has a number of faults. The screen is cracked, the home button doesn't work, and the camera freezes. Now, of course, those first 2 phones needed some obvious damage before we could send them for a repair. So we asked the team at the lab to remove the screens and smash them.
Currently, the issues with the phones, they wouldn't be a difficult fix at all. A majority of the damage that has been caused is to the screen. If another repair company was to take a look at these handsets, the only problems they should identify are the ones that we have discovered today.
Next, it was on to the Phone Angels website to fill in the order form and pay up front for our repairs. The site told us that fixing the screen on phone 1 would cost £50 and on phone 2 would cost £30, so we booked them in. As, however, phone 3 had several faults, we wanted to see if Phone Angels would spot them all or indeed try to offer us additional repairs too. So we sent this off for its so-called not sure service. Here, for what looks like no charge, Phone Angels will inspect your device and tell you what's wrong with it before you make the choice to go ahead and pay for the repair. So, while we waited to hear what Phone Angels would make of our phones, back in Cumbria, Maria wants to know if there really is a problem with the charging point on her tablet, as the company maintained. So she's taking it to her local phone repair shop.
Hi, yeah, I rang up earlier.
Oh yes. We gave the tablet a full health check as we normally do, but checking the charger port is fairly straightforward because you can simply connect the charger to it and it charges the battery if it works. So we soon found out there was no problem. I was confused as to how they had figured out that the charger port needed to be repaired. None of our staff could find a reason why it needed any additional repairs other than the screen.
The good news is that the screen is now repaired, though it did cost Maria more than Phone Angels had quoted. Still, as there was no apparent reason why the charging point needed fixing, she has at least avoided forking out for what seems a totally unnecessary repair. Back in the Rip-Off Britain office, all the phones we'd sent to Phone Angels have been returned, and it was a mixed bag of results. With phone 1, Phone
It's
Angels
like a
failed
multi-tool.
to
It's
spot
not
the loose
actually a
home
knife.
button, but did
It's
try
like
to
it's got a
suggest that as
screwdriver,
well as
it's
the
got a
broken
nail
screen
cut,
we knew about,
nail
something
file, it's
called
got like
proximity
loads. You can get
sensor
different
needed potentially
versions,
replacing too, and that
like
would
with
cost an
different
extra
tools in it.
£29. Such a fault can happen
With
when
scissors,
screens are smashed,
everything.
but
Her
until
one
the screen
is
has been removed,
only has I
it's
think
not
a
possible
knife
to know for sure
and
if
a
a repair is
screwdriver and
definitely
something
required.
else.
Well, we said no to that. In fact, we asked them not to fix the phone at all. Even so, despite no less than 6 emails to that effect, we went ahead and repaired the screen anyway. As for Phone 2, the brand new one, Phone Angels said that the LCD underneath the screen may also be damaged, which would cost an extra $59.99, and considering the blow from the hammer, that too may well be the case. However, again we told the company not to repair it, and this time the phone was sent back without question and without a charge. Phone 3, you may recall, was in such a state that we asked Phone Angels to tell us what was wrong with it. They did spot the obvious, that the screen was broken, but they didn't diagnose the faulty camera or home button. And when we said that we'd changed our minds and wanted the phone back, they charged us almost £25. That's despite the website stating that returning the phone unrepaired would be free. Of course, nobody's perfect, and we did only send 3 phones for inspection. But Phone Angels says it's been in the business for years, and no doubt it's dealt with thousands of broken phones. So maybe the people we've spoken to were just unlucky with the service they received. And when we contacted Phone Angels, it said it deeply regrets that some customers have been unhappy with its service, which it puts down to the growing pains the company has experienced as a result of an influx of orders. It told us a temporary problem meant that for some months it had struggled to keep up with demand, but it stressed it's since made extensive improvements to avoid this happening again. Phone Angels went on to say that smartphones and tablets are very fragile, and some damage is not always evident at first inspection, so it wouldn't be doing its job properly if it didn't make customers aware of other potential issues. It maintains that's what it was doing in Maria's case, after spotting what it deemed an area of concern that would have required a complete new screen to be installed if repaired later. As for Samantha Lindley's devices, which she says were returned in a worse state than when she sent them off, Phone Angels told us fragments of cracked screens can easily break away in transit, even when carefully packaged, as it says all its phones are. When it came to the phones we sent for repair, Phone Angels told us the first one was already fixed by the time we asked it not to go ahead. And it said since we were charged £25 after asking for the third phone to be returned unrepaired, the company has changed its policy on inspection fees and return postage. As for Maria, next time one of her sons accidentally breaks the screen, she won't be rushing to find the cheapest quote online.
I wish I'd known from the beginning that there were actual local repair shops near me. I wish I'd never ever sent it to Phone Angels in the first place.